Okay, so Hare Krishna Mataji. So if you are ready, Sita Sundari Mataji and family for the Bengali recitations and translations with invocation prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 3 times and then we can start. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 21, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Will I start, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Okay. Text 21. তিনেরও শরণ হয় বিঘ্ন বিনাশন, অনায়াসে হয় নিজ বাঞ্ছিত পূরণ।
Such remembrance destroys all difficulties and very easily enables one to fulfill his own desires.
সেই মঙ্গলাচরণ হয় ত্রিবিধ প্রকার, বস্তু নির্দেশ আশীর্বাদ নমস্কার।
The invocation involves 3 processes: defining the objective, offering benediction, and offering obeisance.
প্রথম 2 শ্লোকে ইষ্টদেব নমস্কার, সামান্য বিশেষ রূপে দ্বৈত প্রকার।
The first 2 verses offer respectful obeisances, generally and specifically to the Lord, who is the object of worship.
তৃতীয় শ্লোকেতে করি বস্তুর নির্দেশ, যাহা হইতে জানি পরতত্ত্বের উদ্দেশ।
In the 3rd verse, I indicate the absolute truth, who is the ultimate substance. With such a description, one can visualize the supreme truth.
চতুর্থ শ্লোকেতে করি জগতে আশীর্বাদ, সর্বত্র মাগিয়ে কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রসাদ।
In the 4th verse, I have invoked the benediction of the Lord upon all the world, praying the Lord Chaitanya for his mercy upon all.
সেই শ্লোকে কহি বাহ্যাবতার কারণ, পঞ্চষষ্ঠ শ্লোকে কহি মূল প্রয়োজন।
In that verse, I have also explained the external reason for Lord Chaitanya's incarnation, but in the 5th and 6th verse, I have explained the prime reason for his advent.
এই 6 শ্লোকে কহি চৈতন্যর তত্ত্ব, আর পঞ্চ শ্লোকে নিত্যানন্দের মহত্ব।
In these 6 verses, I have described the truth about Lord Chaitanya, whereas in the next 5, I have described the glory of Lord Nityananda.
আর 2 শ্লোকে অদ্বৈত তত্ত্বাখ্যান, আর 1 শ্লোকে পঞ্চতত্ত্বের ব্যাখ্যান।
The next 2 verses describe the truth about Advaita Prabhu, and the following verses describe the Panchatattva, the Lord, his planetary portion, his incarnation, his energies, and his devotees.
এই 14 শ্লোকে করি মঙ্গলাচরণ, তহি মধ্যে কহি সব বস্তু নিরূপণ।
These 14 verses therefore offer auspicious invocations and describe the supreme truth.
সব শ্রোতা বৈষ্ণবে করি নমস্কার, এই সব শ্লোকেরও করি অর্থ বিচার।
I offer my obeisances unto all Vaishnava readers as I begin to explain the intricacies of all verses.
সকল বৈষ্ণব শুনো করি এক মন, চৈতন্য কৃষ্ণেরও শাস্ত্র মত নিরূপণ।
I request all my Vaishnava readers to read and hear with rapt attention this narration of Sri Krishna Chaitanya as inculcated in the revealed scriptures.
কৃষ্ণ গুরু ভক্ত শক্তি অবতার প্রকাশ, কৃষ্ণ এই ছয় রূপে করেন বিলাস।
Lord Krishna enjoys by manifesting himself as the spiritual masters, the devotees, the diverse energy, the incarnations, and the plenary portions. They are all six in one.
এই ছয় তত্ত্বেরও করি চরণ বন্দন, প্রথমে সামান্যে করি মঙ্গলাচরণ।
I therefore worship the lotus feet of the six diversities of one truth by invoking their benedictions.
বন্দে গুরু ঈশা ভক্তাম, ঈশাম ঈশাবতারকাম, তৎপ্রকাশং চ তচ্ছক্তি কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য সঙ্গকম।
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the spiritual masters, the devotees of the Lord and the Lord's incarnations, his plenary portions, his energy, and the primeval Lord himself, Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
মন্ত্র গুরু আর যত শিক্ষা গুরুগণ, তাহারও চরণে আগে করিয়ে বন্দন।
I first offer my respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of my initiating spiritual master and all my instructing spiritual masters.
শ্রীরূপ সনাতন ভট্ট রঘুনাথ, শ্রীজীব গোপাল ভট্ট দাস রঘুনাথ।
My instructing spiritual masters are Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Bhatta Raghunatha, Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and Sri Raghunath Dasha Goswami.
এই ছয় গুরু শিক্ষা গুরু যে আমার, তা সবার পাদপদ্মে কোটি নমস্কার।
These six are my instructing spiritual masters, and therefore I offer millions of my respectful obeisances unto their lotus feet.
ভগবানের ভক্ত যত শ্রীবাস প্রধান, তা সবারও পাদপদ্মে সহস্র প্রণাম।
There are innumerable devotees of the Lord, of whom Srivad Thakur is foremost. I offer my respectful obeisances thousands of times unto their lotus feet.
অদ্বৈত আচার্য প্রভুর অংশ অবতার, তারও পাদপদ্মে কোটি প্রণতি আমার।
Advaita Acharya is the Lord partial incarnation, and therefore I offer my obeisances millions of times at his lotus feet.
নিত্যানন্দ রায় প্রভুর স্বরূপ প্রকাশ, তার পাদপদ্ম বন্দ যার মুই দাস।
Srila Nityananda Rama is the plenary manifestation of the Lord, and I have been initiated by him. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet.
গদাধর পণ্ডিতাদি প্রভুর নিজ শক্তি, তাঁর সবার চরণে মোর সহস্র প্রণতি।
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the internal potencies of the Lord, of whom Sri Gadadhar Prabhu is foremost.
শ্রীকৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু স্বয়ং ভগবান, তাহার পদারবিন্দে অনন্ত প্রণাম।
Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the personality of Godhead himself, and therefore I offer innumerable prostration at his lotus feet.
সাবরণে প্রভুরে করিয়া নমস্কার, এই ছয় তেহ জইছে করিয়ে বিচার।
Having offered obeisances unto the Lord and all his associates, I shall now try to explain these 6 diversities into one.
যদ্যপি আমার গুরু চৈতন্যের দাস, তথাপি জানিয়ে আমি তাহারও প্রকাশ।
Although I know that my spiritual master is a servitor of Sri Chaitanya, I know him as a plenary manifestation of the Lord.
গুরু কৃষ্ণ রূপ হন শাস্ত্রের প্রমাণে, গুরুরূপে কৃষ্ণ কৃপা করেন ভক্তগণে।
According to the deliberate opinion of all revealed scriptures, the spiritual master is no different from Krishna. Lord Krishna, in the form of the spiritual master, delivers his devotees.
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে। শ্রী চৈতন্য মহাপ্রভু কি জয়। হরি বল।
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Sita Sundari Mataji and Aditi Mataji. Very beautiful recitations. And we see the taste of Bengali recitations.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu, for giving us opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Very nice,
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hari Bol.
Hare Bol.
Hare Bol. Okay, so we're on time. So shall we got so we have got same devotees. Okay, so we shall move to the next program. So Japa session. Can I request any devotees to do the Panchatattva mantra before we start Japa? And also all the devotees, wherever it is possible, kindly unmute and do chanting. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare,
Hare, Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare
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 Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna 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 Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram, Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण Hare Krishna dear devotees, if anyone has not completed the chanting, so kindly complete it behind. So meanwhile, we shall enter into the next part of our program. There is the Kirtan. So today Kirtan by Kishori Gokulanandini Mataji, but Mataji is not here due to different appointment, urgency. So can I request Sita Sundari Mataji? So you have joined after a very long time, and if you are happy to sing Kirtan, and if you have got your family members to sing, to respond with you.
Prabhu, maybe it's a little difficult. Maybe me and Hemlata Mataji is there. We can do
Yes,
together, maybe.
yes, Mataji, that's fine. Okay. Any Kirtan you wanted to do it, or Harinam?
Maybe Harinam. Oh, Hemlata Mataji,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Can we do together any bhajan or
Yes,
kirtan?
Mataji. Start whatever,
Please,
whichever.
you can start. I can follow you, please.
Mataji is going to
Very
do,
good.
Hemlata Mataji is going to do Guru Vandana. Mataji again.
Okay, okay.
Or Jai Radha Madam you can do Mataji.
Okay, then okay. With the Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama
Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari
Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaridhari
Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaridhari
যশোদানন্দন ব্রজ জনরঞ্জন
Yashodhanandan Braj Janaranjana
যশোদানন্দন ব্রজ জনরঞ্জন
Yashodhanandan Braj Janaranjana
যমুনা তীরা বনচারী
Jamuna Tira Vanchari
যমুনা তীরা বনচারী
Jamuna Tira Vanchari
জয় রাধা মাধব কুঞ্জ বিহারী
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari
জয় রাধা মাধব জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী
जय राधा माधव जय कुंज
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
হরে জয় রাধা লন্নেশ্বর রাধা লন্নেশ্বর রাধা লন্নেশ্বর রাধে
जय राधा लंडनेश्वर राधा लंडनेश्वर राधा लंडनेश्वर जय राधे
জয় রাধা গোকুলানন্দ রাধা গোকুলানন্দ রাধা গোকুলানন্দ রাধে
जय राधा गोकुल नंद राधा गोकुल नंद राधा गोकुल नंद जय राधे
জয় জগন্নাথ জগন্নাথ জয় বলদেব জয় সুভদ্রা।
जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा।
জয় জগন্নাথ জয় জগন্নাথ জয় বলদেব জয় সুভদ্রা।
जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा।
জয় রাম সীতারাম লক্ষ্মণ হনুমান জয় সীতারাম লক্ষ্মণ হনুমান জয় সীতারাম লক্ষ্মণ হনুমান।
जय सीता राम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय सीता राम लक्ष्मण हनुमान।
জয় নিতাই গৌর হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল নিতাই গৌর হরি বল।
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल।
জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ 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 জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ।
जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद
প্রভুপাদ
जय प्रभुपाद शिल
जय
प्रभुपाद की जय
কি জয় হরিনাম সংকীর্তন কি
जय।
all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all devotees.
हरे कृष्णा।
Hare
थैंक यू
Krishna.
माताजी, वेरी
Thank
ब्यूटीफुल
you,
माताजी,
Mataji.
वेरी नाइस, थैंक यू।
You did very nice. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very beautiful Kirtan. Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing your Kirtan today with all of us. Thank you so much. So blissful. Okay, we shall move on to the next part. So it is Guru Vandana prayers, given by Yamlata Mataji.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु।
And we invite Asha Mataji. Hare Krishna, Asha Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I just finished my work. I'm going
Yeah,
home.
yeah, sure. Okay. Can I request Prabhavati Sachi Mataji to respond to Hemlata Mataji? Mataji Sahara.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
हरे कृष्णा, थैंक यू माताजी।
Hare Krishna.
श्री गुरु चरण पद्मा केवल भगति सद्मा।
Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma.
श्री गुरु चरण पद्मा केवल भगति सद्मा।
Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma.
बंधु मोई सावधान माते।
बंधु मुझे सावधाना माटे।
बंधु मोई सावधान माते।
बंधु मुझे सावधाना माटे।
जहरा प्रसादे भाई ए भाव तुरिया जाय।
गहरा प्रसादे भाई ये भवा तोरिया जाए।
कृष्ण प्राप्ति होए जहाँ होए ते।
कृष्ण प्राप्ति हो जहाँ होए ते।
कृष्ण प्राप्ति होए जहाँ होए ते
कृष्ण प्राप्ति हो जहाँ होते
गुरुमुख पद्मा वाक्या चितते कोरिया क्या
गुरुमुख पद्मा वाक्या चित्ते कोरिय ऐक्या
अरे ना कोरी हो माने आशा
करुणा करी हो माने आशा
अरे ना कोरी हो माने आशा
करुणा करी हो माने आशा
श्री गुरु चराणे रति ऐसे उत्तमा गति
श्री गुरु चरण प्रति ऐसे उत्तम गति
जे प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा
जय प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा
जे प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा
जय प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा
चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से
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 दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो
दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो
दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो
दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो
प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते
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 वेद गाय जहाँ रचरितो
वेद गाय जहाँ रचरितो
श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधु
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 लोकनाथ लोकेर जीवाना
लोकनाथ लोकेर जीवाना
हा हा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया
हा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद चया
हा हा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया
हा प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पद चया
एबे जस गुशुक त्रिभुवना
एबे जश गुशु त्रिभुवना
हा हा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया
हा प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पद चया
हा हा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया।
आहा प्रभु करो दया, देह मोरे पद छाया।
एबे जश गुशुक त्रिभुवना,
एबे जश गुशु त्रिभुवना।
प्रभुपाद पतित पवना।
प्रभुपाद पतित पवना।
गुरुदेव लैलो शरणा।
गुरुदेव लैल शरणा।
जय प्रभुपदाय 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 जय प्रभुपदाय।
जय जय प्रभुपदा 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 जय प्रभुपदा।
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद।
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद।
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव।
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव।
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल।
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल।
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Yeah.
हरे
Thank you,
कृष्णा।
Mataji.
थैंक
Very
यू
nice.
माता जी। थैंक यू।
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Hemlata Mataji and Prabhavati Sachi Mataji. So beautiful recitation. Sorry, of Sri Guru Vandana. Thank you so much. Very nice. Okay. Okay, so we shall move to the next part. We got Krishna Keshav Prabhuji as well. So, okay, so next part is the Mangalacharan prayers by Bhartini Gayatri Mataji, please. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च।
Maybe it's my channel.
हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिने इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवी गौरवाणी नमस्ते सरस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य-देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Gayatri Mataji. So nice. Mangalacharan prayers. Okay, so we shall move to the next is Premadvani. Yes. So can I request Sandeep Prabhuji to lead the Premadvani prayers? And when Prabhuji is doing the Premadvani prayers, until Prabhu does until here, and we all follow behind with the Jaya in a response. Okay, Sandeep Prabhuji, when you are ready. Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, yeah. Jaya Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajak Kacharya Stottara Shata Srimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Jaya Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtottara Shata Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
अनंत अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
Jai.
नमाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की
Jai.
इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की
Jai.
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की
Jai.
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपा गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की
Jai.
वृंदावन धाम की
Jai.
मथुरा धाम की
Jai.
नवद्वीप धाम की
Jai.
जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की
Jai.
गंगा मई की
Jai.
यमुना मई की
Jai.
तुलसी देवी की
Jai.
भक्ति देवी की
Jai.
संकीर्तन यज्ञ की
Jai.
बृहद मृदंग की
Jai.
समवेत भक्त वृंद की
Jai.
Jai.
गौर प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल
Hari Bol.
all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Okay, thank you so much, Sandeep Prabhuji. Very beautiful leading this Premadvani prayers. Thank you so much. Okay, and also we welcome Jahnakanya Mataji, Kavangi Mataji, and Krishna Keshav Prabhuji. Thank you so much for kindly joining. Okay, so now it is invocation prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya before going to the Chaitanya Charitamrita. I think Krishna Keshav Prabhuji is from India. It is 1:30 in India. This is midnight. So though the Prabhuji those so many difficult times, but Prabhu is joining here to share Chaitanya Charitamrita with all of us. So I would like Prabhuji, I would like to invite Prabhuji and to start Chaitanya Charitamrita. So share the Amrita from the mouth of Krishna Keshav Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So let's just begin with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you for inviting me back today. It's really nice to be here with you all again this evening in London and this morning in Kolkata. It's 1:30 a.m. It's 1:36 a.m. in the morning here in India. I landed in Kolkata this evening at 9 p.m. India time after 8 days in Sri Vrindavan Dham, where I've been teaching at the VIHE for a few days, the Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education. And I've also had the good fortune to have the darshan of the deities in the temples of Vrindavan and some time to reflect. So please forgive me if I sound a little tired. I've been traveling all day, and I'll do my best today with the Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'll just begin with a short prayer. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminite Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Reshitarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pungam Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. So I've been asked to talk a little bit today about Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi-lila, verses 36 to 43. I didn't get much time to put together many slides or material for today, but I'll do my best. So please excuse me for any mistakes. We've had power issues in Vrindavan and I've been trying to study and work and it all got a bit messy, but we'll do our best today. So, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi-lila, verses 36 to 43. I guess we should set the scene a little bit. These verses, they fall within a group of verses that start, of course, with verse 35, which I think you've already covered. But in these verses, 35 to 43, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, he's paying obeisances. He's paying obeisances actually to the 6 features of our Supreme Lord, Shri Krishna. We'll talk about that in a minute. Now, I know you've covered already verse 35, but for completeness of this section, we'll briefly just go over it so that we can have the flow of these 6 verses and so that we can fully appreciate the beauty, the depth, and the feeling with which Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he writes. And he writes all these verses for our ultimate benefit. And you'll notice something when you continue reading the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He always begins with paying these same obeisances in each chapter. And he also ends each chapter by paying these obeisances. So I think it would be nice actually if we just chanted these verses first, and then we can read the translations before we talk about the verses, and also Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's mood in writing these verses, because I think it's very important. And we might conclude by thinking about what we can learn from them, and also from the author himself, and his mood, and his feeling, and his depth. It's interesting that there's not much commentary on these verses in English, either from Srila Prabhupada or from any of the other Vaishnavacharyas. There is some commentary in Bangla and in Sanskrit, which I've not had time yet to try and work out or work with anyone yet to translate in this week. So as I said, I'll do my best with what I've learned and from what little I've heard and from what little I have understood. So once again, please forgive me if I make any mistakes. So I think it'd be nice if we just started with maybe having a look at these verses. Let's have a look at the actual text and the translation. So maybe if I have a go at doing, we'll do verse 35. I know you've covered it, but it kind of flows with it. If I do the Sanskrit and then somebody else can maybe read the translation. Who'd like to volunteer to read the translation if somebody could do that?
I can do, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. So begin with 35. Mantra Guru Arayata Shiksha Guru Gana Tanhara Charana Age Koriya Vandana.
Translation: I first offer my respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of my initiating spiritual master and all my instructing spiritual masters. Thank you.
Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhakta Raghunatha Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath.
My instructing spiritual masters are Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Bhatta Raghunatha, Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, and Srila Raghunatha Dasa Goswami.
Echai Guru Shiksha Guru Ye Amara Tan Sabara Pada Padme Koti Namaskara.
These six are my instructing spiritual masters, and therefore I offer millions of respectful obeisances unto their lotus feet.
Bhagavanera Bhakta Yata Shrivas Prahadana Tan Sabara Pada Padme Sahasra Pranam.
There are innumerable devotees of the Lord, of whom Srivasa Thakura is the foremost. I offer my respectful obeisances thousands of times unto their lotus feet.
Advaita Acharya Prabhura Amshavatara Tanra Pada Padme Koti Pranati Amara.
Advaita Acharya is the Lord's partial incarnation, and therefore I offer my obeisances millions of times at his lotus feet.
Nityanandaraya Prabhura Svarup Prakasha Tanra Pada Padma Vando Yandra Munidasa.
Nityananda Rama is the plenary manifestation of the Lord, and I have been initiated by him. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet.
Gadadhara Pandithari Prabhura Nija Shakti Tansabara Charane Maro Sahasra Pranati.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the internal potencies of the Lord, of whom Sri Gadadhara Prabhu is the foremost.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Swayam Bhagavan Tanhara Padhara Vindananta Pranamana.
Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the personality of Godhead himself, and therefore I offer innumerable prostrations at his lotus feet.
Savarhane Prabhu Re Kariya Namaskara Echai Teno Yache Kariya Vichara.
Having offered obeisances unto the Lord and all his associates, I shall now try to explain these six diversities in one.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Prabhu.
That was very nicely that was very nicely read out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So, Srila Prabhupada, he writes a purport, a long purport for the verse 35. And in this purport, he sets the scene for these 6 verses. And he explains to us that Srila Jiva Goswami, in his thesis called the Bhakti Sandarbha in 202, he states that uncontaminated devotional service is the object of pure Vaishnavas, and that one has to execute this service in the association of other devotees. He explains to us that if we associate with the devotees of Krishna, then we can develop our Krishna consciousness very nicely. And in doing so, we become more attached to loving service to Krishna. And he explains to us that this is actually the process of approaching Krishna. And we do this not just by devotional service, but also by gradual appreciation of the words he uses. So if we want to become unalloyed in our devotional service, then we have to associate with the devotees of the Lord. And it's by this process of association that our conditioning can be removed. And when we remove that conditioning, we get what we call the higher taste. We develop this intense love for Krishna. And in this way, we can revive that relationship with him that we've forgotten about in our conditioned and material state. And it's some wonderful thing that we hear when we read these verses that Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has written. I just mentioned a little while ago that he begins each chapter by paying his obeisances to these associates of the Lord. And he ends each chapter again by paying the same obeisances. Srila Prabhupada explains to us that if we develop love for Krishna through activities that are Krishna conscious, then we can get to know Krishna very well. But if we try to understand Krishna through just reading and logical arguments, we won't succeed. We'll not develop the higher taste for devotion, for bhakti, or for love for Krishna. So the secret is that we have to be very submissive, and we have to listen. And we have to listen to those teachers who came before us, the Vaishnavacharyas, and those who went before. Otherwise, that devotion, it becomes very difficult to obtain and even maintain. He says that the secret is that one must submissively listen to those who know perfectly the science of God, and one must begin the mode of service regulated by the preceptor. A devotee already attracted by the name, form, qualities, etc. of the Supreme Lord may be directed to his specific manner of devotional service. We shouldn't waste time in approaching the Lord through speculative means or through logical processes. We should go to the expert spiritual master who knows well, Prabhupada says, how to engage his disciples' energy in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. And in this way, he engages a devotee in specific devotional service according to his tendency. We all have a special tendency, a special thing that we like to do. And if we listen to these preceptors who went before us, we can very easily find our space in devotional life, in the things that we enjoy doing. And this is the beauty of bhakti. This is the beauty of what we've been given. Prabhupada says a devotee must have only one initiating spiritual master, because in the scriptures, acceptance of more than one is always forbidden. There is no limit, however, to the number of instructing spiritual masters one may accept. Generally, a spiritual master who constantly instructs a disciple in spiritual science becomes his initiating spiritual master later on. It's interesting, isn't it, that in verse 35, which I know you've covered, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami begins with paying obeisances to his mantra guru. Mantra guru arayata shiksha guru gana tanhara charana age korya vandana. I first offer my respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of my initiating spiritual master. And then he says, all my instructing spiritual masters. And he goes on then to name them in the next few verses. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath. My spiritual masters, my instructing spiritual masters are Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatan Goswami, Shri Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Goswami, Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, and Shri Raghunath Dasa Goswami. He names them all. He names them all as his instructing spiritual masters, what Prabhupada was talking about in his purport to verse 35, that we can accept all these other instructing spiritual masters, but we can only have one initiating spiritual master. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami comes with this mood of service this mood of wanting to take instruction from all these spiritual masters, people who he's learnt from, and he wants to then translate that knowledge down to us. Now, this is a gift to us. In verse 37, he says, "These are my 6 instructing spiritual masters, and therefore I offer millions of respectful obeisances unto their lotus feet." He doesn't say, "I just give my obeisances to their lotus feet." He says, "I offer millions of respectful obeisances unto their lotus feet." Now think of the depth and the emotion and the feeling that he must be writing this with. How many of us can actually put our hands up and say, this is how we approach our spiritual masters? I know I don't. I wish I could be like this. But this is the mood in which we should approach not only Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, but all the other scriptures. We should read, but we should also listen, and we should take instruction from these spiritual masters. And all our spiritual masters, we all have people who we learn from even today. And we should approach our spiritual life in the same mood. This is a gift in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that we are being given. I think it's wonderful how this has been put together, just for our benefit. It's interesting, in these verses, they glorify the necessity of having a guru, a spiritual master, and the processes of devotional service as the only means of attaining Krishna consciousness and actually realizing the absolute truth. Specifically, these verses in verse 35 to 37, we are glorifying the gurus, the mantra guru, diksha guru, and the 6 Goswamis as shiksha gurus. That's what Krishna Kaviraj Goswami is doing here. In verse 38, he says, there are innumerable devotees of the Lord, of whom Srivas Thakur is the foremost. I offer my respectful obeisances thousands of times unto their lotus feet. He uses these wonderful phrases, millions of obeisances, thousands of obeisances. So much we can learn from this. And he's actually talking about the bhaktas. Srivas Thakur was a devotee. He's in verse 38, he's offering his obeisances to all the devotees, Srivas Thakur and others. If we think back to our Panchatattva Mahamantra, it's there, isn't it? Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. He's paying obeisances to Srivas Thakur and all the devotees of the Lord. Srivas Thakur heading up all the devotees of the Lord. That includes us. That includes the people who are here today and the people who have gone before. Then he goes on to talk about the avatars of the Lord, praising the avatars of the Lord. He talks about, in verse 39, he says, Advaita Acharya is the Lord's partial incarnation. And therefore, I offer my obeisances millions of times at his lotus feet. He then goes on even more. He goes to talk about Lord Nityananda in text 40. He says, Srila Nityananda Rama is the plenary manifestation of the Lord, and I have been initiated by him. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. Here, he's talking about the Lord's prakasha feature. Prakasha can mean like revelation, the act of making something, I guess, visible or known. Other meanings can be the emission of energy in the form of waves or particles. Illumination, the act of providing light or making something clear. We say that Balaram, or Lord Nityananda, was the original spiritual master, don't we? And so Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is drawing our attention to this fact that actually it's from Lord Nityananda that this light becomes visible to us. It's through his mercy that we can receive this knowledge, this revelation of this knowledge. It's illuminated by the power of Lord Nityananda's mercy. And therefore he's offering millions and millions and millions of obeisances to him. And then he goes on in verse 42, he says, Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the personality of Godhead himself. And therefore I offer innumerable prostrations at his lotus feet. And I forgot one verse there, the verse before that, sorry. He says that I offer my respectful obeisances also unto the internal potencies of the Lord, of whom Sri Gadadhar Pandit is the foremost. Gadadhar Pandit is who? Anybody can say?
Srimati Radharani.
Radharani and
Radharani, yes.
Sakhi.
And if we think back, you know, through we Prabhupada and all the devotees, you know, often remind us, don't they? All our senior Vaishnavas, they remind us that we should approach Radharani in order to get Krishna's mercy. In the same way, we can approach Nityananda to get Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Sorry, I'm a little tired. To get Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. His verses are so beautiful. In the 43rd text here, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, having offered obeisances unto the Lord and all his associates, I shall now try to explain these 6 diversities in one. It's interesting, he says these 6 diversities in one. Can anybody think what he might mean by that when he says that? Any ideas? Any thoughts? Let me just show that slide.
So this is the first shloka. Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta Nisha Misha Avtaraka Tat Prakasham.
But if we this last shloka here, he says, having offered obeisances in 43 unto the Lord and all his associates, I shall now try to explain these 6 diversities. What does he mean by 6 diversities in one? Any thoughts?
So this is Guru Vaishnava. So those 6 Vande Gurun, Isha Bhaktan, Isham, Isha Avatarkan, Tat Prakasham, Tat Chaktihi. So this.
Yeah, absolutely. All these verses, right, are teaching us something here, these 6 verses, right? He's explaining to us, right, that he's actually telling us that these are all the Lord's features. Yeah, the Lord comes in all these different features. Our gurus are what? What part of Krishna's features are our gurus?
They're the representatives of the Supreme Lord.
Representatives of the Supreme Lord, yes. There was another word that I was gonna mention, and it's completely gone out of my head for some reason. But it's through the mercy, you know, of the spiritual masters that we can receive Krishna's knowledge. Yes.
Yeah.
Krishna, the Guru is one of Krishna's features, one of Krishna's primary features. Knowledge comes from Krishna to Guru. Yes, and then it comes to us. And it's through the Lord's mercy that this comes. And then we have the bhaktas. We have the devotees of the Lord. We need association of the devotees in order to be able to develop in spiritual life. So we learn from our gurus. We associate with devotees. And we get this hankering for wanting to know more about the Lord. And through the mercy of Advaita Acharya, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Gadadhar Pandit, and then all the devotees of the Lord, we get to know Isha, the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. He says, Having offered obeisances to them, I shall now try to explain these 6 diversities. And then he gets into the text of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, doesn't he? In the purport that Srila Prabhupada wrote on text 35, Prabhupada sort of hints at the author's mood. Association with devotees is essential. And Srila Prabhupada and Srila Jiva Goswami in his Sandarbha emphasize that, and I quote here, by associating with devotees of Lord Krishna, one develops a sense of Krishna consciousness. In other words, they're talking about Sangha. The company of advanced devotees is the foundation for developing bhakti. Without such association, bhakti becomes very, very difficult. And we end up in this speculative cycle of confusion and wondering and pondering and so many questions. And we never really get to the answer because we can read, but reading creates sometimes more questions. So we have to ask. And that's why we still have spiritual masters today from whom we can take instruction. That's why we have devotees today who we can associate with. This is the beauty of what Srila Prabhupada has given us. He's brought all of this together for our benefit. Logical argument alone is insufficient. Prabhupada says, he who tries to understand God simply by logical arguments will not succeed. So the message in these verses is that without the message of Sri Krishna and the Vaishnavas, it is impossible to describe the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu. I mentioned earlier, as you read, and you'll notice this as you keep studying Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita here, is that Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami begins each chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita with invocations to Mahaprabhu and his associates, such as Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya. And he also concludes each chapter with a prayer for the service to the feet of Rupa and Raghunath Goswamis. He lived an example of how to show proper respect to those great Vaishnavas who have gone before us, and how important it is actually, in any case, to avoid any disrespect or any offense to the feet, at the feet of the Vaishnavas in general. So we should be very careful in our mood of reading, in our mood of association, in our mood for learning. We need to take great care to listen carefully. At the same time, we need to take care not to offend. Sometimes we can be in this day and age, in this world, we can be very confrontational. Sometimes, even as Vaishnavas, we can be. We have a bad day, and then we lose that sense of actually what is right and what is proper. It happens to us all from time to time. It's unavoidable, but we should be very careful when we're dealing with Vaishnavas, especially those senior Vaishnavas who are there to guide and protect and shelter us today. In the same mood that Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami here shows that he shows in his mood when he's writing on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Any questions so far? Any thoughts so far that anybody would like to share?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm thinking about obeisances. I actually don't see people doing, as you say, before and after.
Mm.
I think, and despite their seniority, so it actually stands out because even our Keshav Maharaj, because he's so familiar with us, I don't see people prostrating when he's passing by or approaching. gathering and stuff like that. So it's not being practiced, which is sad, really.
It is. And you know, it's interesting you say that, because I came to Krishna consciousness not that long ago, maybe 10, 12 years ago. And when I joined, people would come into the temple room and the first thing they would do is bow at the temple door.
Mm.
People don't know why they do that now. Does
That's
anybody
true.
know why we do that? When we come to the temple room door, we put our head down to the floor. Actually, we should be saying Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha. The whole point of bowing at the temple door is to pay our obeisances to the Vaishnavas who are present. Even if they're not regular devotees or practicing Vaishnavas, we should still be paying obeisances to all those present in the temple, because they are there to worship Krishna and to be in the association of devotees. But people don't do it anymore. It's interesting, isn't it? It doesn't happen anymore.
No.
It's
And I
because
notice,
yeah, go on.
I don't know about, I don't know if it's correct or not, but they will ring the bell very loudly, despite if there is something going on that needs silence.
Yes.
And going out is the loud banging of that bell, with especially the children. Should
Yeah.
you be ringing the bell when you go out? I mean,
You don't need to ring the bell when you go out.
No, because is going to Krishna's home, you know,
When you ring the
making a big
bell,
noise as you go out.
when we ring the bell when we're going, it's to let Krishna know we are here.
Yeah, that's
Let him
right.
know we're leaving. He knows we're leaving.
I know, but it's so common in the temple.
It is.
Yeah.
But there is something else behind that as well. Many people who come obviously don't know, you know.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
true.
then, you know, many people who come maybe come from other traditions as well, you know, and maybe practicing in a different way. You see it in India, you know. I'm in India now, and you know, it's interesting how many people, you know, come to the temple who are just visitors, you know, and they're coming from different sampradayas, and they're coming to the ISKCON temple. I was at the Sri Krishna Balaram temple recently, and it's so busy, it's unbelievable. You know, but as people come in, they're ringing the bell. As they're going in, they're ringing the bell really loudly. And there's thousands of people there. And you see only the older devotees now who will pay obeisances on their way in. The younger devotees, they don't know.
No.
And it's, you know, it's no fault of theirs, but
They're
you know,
not.
this is a sign of our times, you know, and I hope that people will, you know, read these literatures that have been left for us and realize that, hang on a minute, this is something that we should do. You know, we should offer this respect. Doesn't matter whether they're Vaishnavas or not, even. The point is they are in the temple room to visit Krishna, and we should pay our obeisances to them first.
Yeah.
Then we go to the deity of Srila Prabhupada, and we pay our obeisances to him, and we ask his permission. Can we approach the deities?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I when I was reading this today, I had the very same thoughts as you did. I thought, wow, so much has changed in 10 years. It's not a criticism, but it is a sign of the times that we live in.
That's right. And in fact, you know, we're meant to correct people if you want them to make changes and abide with the, you know, rules and regulations. But you don't know who will be taking offenses. You were saying about we shouldn't be offending anybody.
Exactly.
You know, you know, like one Mataji approached me and said, please, can you talk to, I know you got the what shall I say, assertion to go and tell somebody who comes in with a strap top or topless, half topless, so half topless, and would you please approach them? And I did, but I think it's how you do it too.
It is how you.
And thank goodness the Mataji said she had a scarf, and I said, all you can do is, you know, just throw your scarf over your shoulder. It's okay, and you say, and she was so grateful.
Yes.
But there was another time when one wasn't very happy.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing that we have to be mindful of.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
We don't want to cause offense, and we don't want to scare people off. Yeah, because new people will come and they won't know. And how we approach those new people is a big deal for us. But what we can do for ourselves is we can make sure that at least we have the sensibility to do things the right way and to
Yeah,
approach these things just for our own peace of mind in the correct manner. And sometimes it's not appropriate to talk to somebody about it. Sometimes it's appropriate just to let it be. The world has changed and it's going to keep changing. And, the modern day thing is going to keep happening. It's interesting. Even I was in Vrindavan this week, and for 3 days I wasn't wearing a dhoti kurta. And mostly because I have osteoporosis and I have difficulty, putting it all on in the morning, early in the morning, because I'm all stiff and aching, and it's very difficult to walk down the road, being chased by a band of monkeys who are after your bead bag, and in bare feet. So it was a little difficult for me. But when I got to the temple, a couple of senior devotees said, "What happened? You're wearing jeans and t-shirt and tilak." And I said, "I couldn't put the dhoti on this morning." And actually they could see from my hands and my feet were all swollen from my arthritis.
right.
Oh, I see why now. Because I trip over the dhoti sometimes, when I'm paying obeisances, when I
Yes,
try to go to
yeah.
stand up and then I fall over. So even I have to have to make some changes myself. But then after a while, when things settled down, I was back in my devotional clothing. But I realized in that moment that actually, with different things that are happening with different people and the different moods that people are in, what we don't want to do is to scare people off and offend them at the same time, because otherwise new people won't come.
That's right, yeah.
And so we have to be mindful of these things at the same time. But there is an etiquette. And I think that as we grow in our spiritual life, we can personally be aware of our responsibility, and make sure that at least we, can imbibe the mood of, say, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami there and pay those obeisances in the proper manner. If there is a need, a necessity to speak to somebody, and it is our place to do so, then so be it. But myself, I would sort of stand back and let it happen, and at least think to myself, okay, that's something I don't want to do. So we have to kind of imbibe this mood from these great Vaishnavacharyas. Eventually, things, for some new people, they will change, and our movement will change with it. But the level of respect and that mood that we need to have, especially with us in the older generation, and those of us who are serious in Sangha like this, we must be very careful of the way we approach these matters. Anybody else have anything they'd like to say or share on this?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hari Prabhu.
This conversation brings a thought in my mind. Not only ringing the bell. I have seen mostly in South India during my tours. People go, they put money in the, how do you call it?
The handi.
The reception box.
Yes.
And then they bow down to that. They put their head on it. They bow down to that. Even at the manor, I have seen many people doing that. They bow down at the money box. So have you noticed that?
I've noticed it. I've noticed it myself. Yes. And I've often wondered why.
But you know what, Prabhuji? In Sri Rangam, that was in front of me, right? I saw the municipality van coming with 10, 12 people. They spread beds, a huge sheet on the floor. They emptied all those, because you have maybe hundreds in Sri Rangam of those donation boxes. They're huge, they're like drums, right? they pour all on that sheet, and then they were counting. Who were they? They were the workers, the government workers, right? Under supervision. So those donations, they don't go to temple. Those donations, they goes to the government, and the government share it. 60,000 goes to the Muslim community, 60,000 goes to the Christian community. The Hindu community doesn't get anything from there. My son-in-law, his brother-in-law works as Pujari at the Srirangam. He was telling us. He says, look, they have come, they take all their money under supervision, under guard, counting and putting different boxes or whatever. And the Hindu community doesn't get anything from the government. Whereas the Christian and the Muslim, they got their money from the Hindu temple. And Indian people are going and putting money in those boxes and bowing down to the boxes. So,
well, in a way, they will be getting some special mercy for that.
Yeah.
Because we should remember that these Christians and the Muslims are also Krishna's children.
Yes, no, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people who are bowing down to the donation boxes. What do they get?
Well, you know, that their bowing down is kind of a special mercy in its own way, isn't it? Because by bowing down to that donation box, they're saying, okay, I'm offering this money to Krishna. And we often say, and we're told often, Krishna is the controller. So maybe he's deciding here, hang on a minute, thank you for those donations, but let's share it out a bit. Yeah, just a thought, something to think about.
Yes, Prabhuji. But if you see those in South India, there are thousands of Vishnu's temples. If you see the states of the temples, if you see pujaris, they don't even get a salary. Some of the temples you see big locks. So you have to go, ring a big, huge bell, and then Pujari will come with a big lock and with a big key and open the doors. And they are not there all the time. But if Hindu people take this courage and approach the government that this money is being given for the temple, why don't we use the money for like a renovation of the temples? But they don't have, maybe they don't have the idea, they don't know, maybe that's also there.
I can't comment on that. But anyway, what we should do is, you know, remember that everything that is given in this world is given for the benefit of all. Doesn't matter which communities they come from. And if you know, temples aren't being renovated, then, you know, these are matters not for this conversation. But yes, I see your point, Mataji. I do. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What I did want to say, to follow up from, you know, this mood of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, is I wanted to share something with you from Srila Jiva Goswami's Sandarbhas, which beautifully sums up actually some of what we've been talking about, or at least some of what a lot of what Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has presented to us in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I'll ask somebody to read the highlighted sections that I'm about to share, because I think these are beautiful passages from Srila Jiva Goswami's Sandarbhas here, which are very, very important and very, very relevant to the text that we've been reading. Can you see this on the screen?
Yes, Prabhu. Can I read?
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. Devotional service free from all material attachments is the goal of the life, and it is attained by the Lord's mercy in the association of his devotees. Now we will examine the different features of devotional service. That was number 9. Number 10. First one associates with devotees. From that association, faith develops. From faith, one becomes attached to hear the Vaishnava philosophy passed down through the Guru Parampara. Then one develops the beginning of love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then one becomes attracted to the path of devotional service. 11. Then one desires to make spiritual advancement, taking shelter of one diksha or many shiksha spiritual masters. One hears the philosophy of devotional service. In this way, one understands the truth from beginning to end. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. And that truth from beginning to end is Sri Krishna, is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. if you go back to think about what Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami starts with, he starts with actually paying obeisances to his Diksha Guru, then his many spiritual masters, from whom he has heard the philosophy of devotional service. And in this way, he has understood the truth from beginning to end. You see? And so he's explaining to us there that actually our devotional service should be free from all these material attachments and material contaminations and even material disturbances about money boxes in temples even. Yeah. Because the goal of our life, right, it is attained only by the Lord's mercy and only through the association of many, many devotees, Sangha, like we're having here. Yes? And this is how we come to understand the different features of the Lord and the different features of devotional service. We start with association. Little bit of association, we get enthusiastic. We join in kirtan, we go to prasadam, we start going to the temple every day, or more and more programs. We hear more and more lectures. We start to talk with different devotees. We start to read, and what happens? That faith happens. When that faith becomes strong, we want to hear more Vaishnava philosophy from the more senior people, and we want to read more, i.e., the philosophy that is passed down through the Guru Parampara. That's when we begin to get love for Godhead. And that's when we really become attracted to the path of devotional service. It's beautiful, isn't it, how he's written in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and how we can take the same thing here. This same explanation is being given to us here by those who have been there, those who have experienced it, those that can share it with us. Srila Jiva Goswami wrote this. He says something else here. This path is described in the following words. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, you can find it in 1.2.16. O twice-born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely freed from vice, a great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity for hearing the message of Vasudev. It is also described in these words, again in the Bhagavatam in 3.25.25. In the association of pure devotees, discussion of the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is freed, and his attraction becomes fixed. Fixed on what? On who? On Krishna. And when we're fixed on Krishna, then we know, we can feel that devotion, we can perform that devotion with love. And that's what Krishna wants from us. Any questions?
Yeah, so Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
You go, Prabhuji.
So some technical question.
Oh, go on. Now I'm scared.
It's not serious. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami offering 1,000 obeisances to Srivas Pandita, and then 10 million obeisances unto Advaita Acharya, once obeisance to Nityananda Prabhu, again 1,000 obeisances to Gadadhara Pandita, and unlimited obeisances to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he's doing obeisances one day to only once to Nityananda Prabhu. He's his Diksha Guru.
He's only paying that one obeisances to Nityananda Prabhu.
Yeah, he did not mention the number.
He doesn't mention a number, but I think we can probably take it from what he's saying, because what he does say is Nityananda Raya Prabhura Svarupa Prakasha. Yes?
Yeah.
That Sri Nityananda Ram is the plenary manifestation of the Lord, and I have been initiated by him. He doesn't need to then say, I also offer millions of obeisances unto his lotus feet, because he's actually saying he's the Prakasha, he's the plenary expansion of the Lord. And he's not taken direct initiation from him, has he? That's not his Diksha Guru. But it's as if he could be his Diksha Guru, because he knows that the light, the knowledge, that empowerment has come directly as a result of his mercy. So it's poetry there. His poetry is powerful. I think that's where the technical bit I can hopefully answer that bit.
Yeah, so beautiful. Yes, and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentions about Guru Krishna Krupaya Paya Bhakti Lata Beja.
Yes. Yeah.
Brahmande Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeva Guru Krishna Krupaya Paya Bhakti Lata Beja. And Acharya Ma Vidaniyat Na Avamanyeta Karihichet Na Macha Bujja Asuyeta Sarvadeva Mayo Guruhu. So Guru is the Sarvadevamaya, all. So Krishna was saying to Uddhava. So that is about just Acharyas, Sarvadeva.
Exactly. And the word I was looking for earlier was that Guru is actually the Ashraya Vigraha. He is the Lord's shelter-giving principle, isn't he? You know, and this is the most important thing that we have to remember, that it's through Krishna's mercy that Guru is able to provide us that shelter. He is Krishna's shelter-giving principle, Ashraya Vigraha. And there I will leave it today, because I'm extremely tired and it's 2:28 in the morning.
Yes, sure, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Can I request all devotees, if you have got anything immediately, otherwise we'll all say unmute and do loud Hari Bols to Krishna Keshav Prabhuji. And also one more thing, like Prabhuji's mother, she is also recognized as having a cancer. So, and also
my mother has esophageal cancer. She has a 29-centimeter tumor, and she's not expected to be with us for much longer, maybe a few more months. And I'm here in India, and I'm torn apart in two right now, because I want to be at home to look after her, but I can't be. I'm here on her instruction. She's also one of my gurus, and she has given me an order. I must go and do some work here for her. And that work is just to do my devotional service.
Oh, that's so
He
sweet.
has sent me here and said that you must go and do your teaching, and you must go and do your research, and you must spend some time in the association of devotees. And I really want to be at home. But her order is that I must be here and continue with my seva. So I have had to come here and continue with my seva, and I have to admit, it's been really, really difficult. Really, really difficult.
Well, Prabhu, that your mom is such a pure devotee to be able to do that. Wonderful. So you come from good stock, I should say. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
So can we all say loud Hari Bols, and also we pray for Prabhuji's mother so that she is all well in devotional service unto Krishna, and also her health will be recovered and improved so that she will carry on as long as she is in that body. And yeah, we pray, and then 3 loud Hari Bols to Prabhuji and Mataji as well. Hari Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
And may you be able to put your dhoti on every morning, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hari Bol.
Thank you, Haribo. Thank you very much for having me today, and it was nice to be here. I've not been able to sleep very well anyway, so this has given me something to do instead of worry. So I'm grateful to you all for the opportunity to do some service for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji, thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, all devotees, for participating when Prabhuji is here. And we got Ramlala Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Ramlala Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam. Thank you for being with us. Okay, so, and dear devotees, if you have got any questions or you wanted to share anything else, discuss, kindly share. Gayatri Mataji, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Actually, I was reading, this has nothing to do with today's lesson, but I was reading Bhagavad Gita 2.8, and in that it says like within and without. What does that mean, Prabhu? Within and without? That I couldn't understand exactly what it meant. So I'll just quickly read if you have time. Quickly, you can add. Was it? Oh, it's not 9. I think it was in. Sorry, I got wrong. Wrong. Where is it? Sorry, Prabhu. I'll send this, Prabhu, later. I'll send it to you. It is now I'm also confused, so I will not make you more night already for you. So I'll send this, Prabhu, and I'll ask this question.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, and also as Prabhu, Krishna Keshav Prabhuji was sharing some information. So this is what Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sango Ata Bhajana Kriya Tato Anadda Nivritti Syat Tato Nishta Ruchihi Tata Ata Asektihi Tato Bhavaha Tataha Prema Abhyudhyanchati Abhyudhanchati, and then Sadhakanam Ayam Premna Pradurbhave Bhavet Kramaha. So they will be coming one after another. So this is Ado Shraddha. Initially Shraddha, and then Tataha, after that Sadhu Sangha, after that Ata Bhajana Kriya. This is a sequence of the activities takes place in the devotional service. And then Tato Anadda Nivrittit Syat. And when we have got continuous of these steps one after another, and all the anadhas would be eradicated out. And Tato Nishtaha. And the Nishta will be coming. Is a great determination. And then Ruchihi Tata. Ruchi is the taste for the devotees association, carrying out the devotional service, chanting and everything. That taste will come. And Ata Asaktihi. Ata Asakti is it is the great wanting. I want this more and more. Asakti. And after that, Tato Bhavaha. And beyond that, he will absorb in the different moods, Bhava. And the Tata Prema Abhyudha. What is that? Is a tongue twisting one. Abhyudaya. What is that verse in the Abhyudanchati? It is arises. What is that one? Prema. The love increases. Sadhakanam ayam premnaha pradurbhave bhavet kramaha. Pradurbhave bhavet kramaha. One after another. So this is Gayatri Mataji. Would you like to read the translation, Mataji?
Sure, Prabhu. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. In the beginning, there must be faith. Then one becomes interested in associating with pure devotees. Thereafter, one is initiated by the spiritual master and executes the regulative principles under his orders. Thus, one is freed from all unwanted habits and becomes firmly fixed in devotional service. Thereafter, one develops taste and attachment. This is the way of sadhana bhakti, the execution of devotional service according to the regulative principles. Gradually, emotions intensify, and finally, there is an awakening of love. This is the gradual development of love of Godhead for the devotee interested in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So this verse, Prabhupada, most of the times he explains in the devotee when he is giving lectures. So Ado Shraddha. So this is where it starts, devotional service starts. Shraddha comes when it is Atato Brahma Jnasa. Who am I? Why I'm going to do? Why I'm involving in these particular activities? Why I'm being suffering? Like that, it is that reflection. That is where it starts. Even though he's trying to put any solutions, they don't work. Trying to solve many ways, the relationships or earning money or whatever the plans, that does not work. Then he would like to try to find a way. That is where it is Shraddha. But that is true because the human plans never work. It is Brahma also, in his prayers he confirms. Loko vikarma nirite kushile pramattaha karmanyem twadudite bhodachane sve yastavadisya bhalvaniha jivitasham sajjha chinatti animishaya namostu tasmai. All the human plans will be cut to pieces, all the materialistic plans, whatever they wanted to, without taking the instructions of Krishna from Bhagavad Gita or the Bhagavatam and all those things. So that one is Shraddha one. Initially, we need to have Shraddha. That starts whenever all his plans are failing. It starts to investigate what is the root cause of it. Okay, that is Shraddha. And also, Shraddha also can be achieved just by rendering little bit of service to the spiritual masters. Susrusha Shraddhanasya Vasudeva Kataruchihi Syan Matsyav Vipraha Punyatirtha Nishevanat. So devotees are like a Punyatirtha. It is serving to them is called Mahat Seva. So Krishna Keshav Prabhuji was explaining that one, Canto 1, Chapter 2, verse number 16. So that one, Yadanadhyasina Yuktaha Karma Grandhi Nibandhanam Chindanti Kovidastasya Kona Kudyat Kataratim. Again, this is how he can cut the entanglement with the material world while he is experiencing greatest ecstasy while hearing Krishna Katha. Yada Anudhyasina Yuktaha Karma Grandhi Nibandhanam. This is Karma Grandhi, it is very strong. That will be cut. Okay, so likewise, our Bhagavatam gives so many solutions to the devotees who approach, and that is first initially one has to have Ado Shraddha. Okay, so that is kind of few points to say, and this is the 6 verses offering Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has offered, and then further he is going to speak further on the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, any other questions, dear devotees? You wanted to share or you wanted to ask? Hemlata Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. No question, Prabhu, but I was very impressed. Prabhu was insisting on Sadhu Sangha, devotee association, Sadhu Sangha, which we tend to forget sometime. And we didn't have Sadhu Sangha here in London for a long time. So
Yes.
I was thinking about it. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
So much important.
Yeah. Maybe you can just invite the devotees, arrange home programs.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, sure. I'm thinking about it, planning.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, any other reflections or sharings? Prabhavati Sachi Mataji. Jahna Kanya Mataji.
Well, today, Prabhu, there was an incident that I felt haunted with in the Sacred Street party. There was a gentleman, so after a long time, about 3 o'clock, we have prasadam, and it's prepared from devotees themselves, most of it. And and we normally share what is left to the public. But we just started, and this gentleman came, and he was actually looking at it, and I actually noticed him, and I spoke with him, and he said, he wanted to know. Well, it was kind of, I read into it that he wanted some, but it wasn't mine to offer at the time. and the little Mataji, the young Mataji, was serving to the, the devotees, and so I offered him a little in a plate, but he said, no, it's okay, don't worry, you eat it, or something like that, and he walked off. But I felt really sad that I didn't offer him a plate, because we are in that business where we are very readily available to feed people. So I felt really sad, and I looked around for him, but I couldn't see him.
Yeah.
So this is a similar sort of thing about respecting and don't offend today that made me feel that I did offend him.
No, Mataji. So you want to share, so that is a very good thing. But yeah, it is again, we do not know what is going on in his mind and in his heart and what is his mood. But whatever has happened, whenever the devotees are involved, the Lord, he looks after in such a way who is deserved to receive the prasadam. But your reflections are in the right way only. The devotees always feel compassionate and from their end. But in a overall picture, Krishna knows who is qualified to receive the prasadam, like that. Maybe that may we have to satisfy ourselves.
And that's a nice way of putting it. But because the thing is, we come from that culture where we feed people. It's not that like I was being mean or anything, but it felt that way when he walked off. But as you say, we don't know what's going on in his mood and all that.
Yeah.
And many people come to the book table, and we, and they walk off and they say, they think it's free. And when you say to them, it's nice when people, have a gift like that, they offer something. Then one lady said, in that case, I don't want it, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
So you have all sorts, as you say, is how their mindset, how they're thinking and so. But it's okay. All that is good experience. It's not. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, I felt a bit that I might have offended him, and in a way, I hurt his deeper feeling. That's how I felt.
Yeah, it is a devotee's compassionate, Mataji, but yeah, we also see those things when our mood is not right. Even we don't get prasadam as well, or mercy.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. For ourselves, yeah. But yeah, and as devotees, we prefer to give more to others and have little or none. Sometimes.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, that is true.
But it's all, yeah. Anyway, thank you for putting that slant on it, because I was thinking of it since it happened.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. I also wanted to share one incident which happened a few days back. So in my garden, I have been, that big bin, black color. And there was one small rat which was jumping very high. I don't know how he got into that bin. And I was so scared. I was screaming, and I came back running. I put the lid back, and I was very scared. But after 2 days, when I went to put a garbage there, the baby rat was dead, and I'm feeling so guilty since that day. What should I do, Prabhu? Will I get that karma? Did I kill that rat?
It was dead.
Yeah, dead. I was again so scared. screaming, running, come back, running, seeing that dead rat. Because I think the rat was jumping inside that bin all day and night for 2 days.
Um, I don't know, Mataji. So I think you have not done anything purposefully, isn't it?
No, yeah.
So that is where, so, and its time has come.
I've been thinking about it day and night. I feel so guilty. I don't know what could I have done to save that, but I was so scared. The way the rat was jumping inside, it could have come on me or my face. I was really scared with that thing, and I didn't do anything to save. So I don't know. I keep thinking about it. It doesn't go out of my mind, this thought.
It's understandable, Mataji, don't worry. But as again, it is his karma. I suppose he had to suffer that way. If that helps, you know, we go through whatever we come with, isn't it?
Yes, Mataji, that is true. Sometimes even we see some flies are coming inside the home, and we are coming to Tulsi Maharani. So we don't want Tulsi Maharani to be affected and then just shoo them away. We don't want to kill them, but we wanted to protect Tulsi Maharani. Most important thing. It is not we have personal enviousness towards the flies. If they are in a different area, going in not from the temple room, or then we don't disturb them. So let them just go out, just open the window and then show them away.
Yeah.
Outside window, the temperature may be cold. If they go outside, they die. But we wanted to protect the Tulsi Maharani, and that is one thing. So likewise, things would happen, but still, we chant Hare Krishna. We don't have any enviousness. Suhrudaha Sarvadehinam, that is the devotees. They don't harm anyone purposefully, and well-wisher of all the living entities. And we don't have to worry about it, Mataji, but somewhere or other, we have got a compassion to those living entities, and it has got its own karma as well.
Yeah, but that's what I keep thinking. If it was a bold person or someone, strong personality, would have just thrown it away from the bin and it would have disappeared into the garden. But I couldn't do that. I was so scared.
But your compassion, Krishna noticed that. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry.
And the same with me, I suppose. Krishna knows our intentions are different than our actions. That you caught off guard, and you, same as this incident with me. I didn't expect it, and when you caught off guard, you panic and you do things that you don't normally do. So it's and you regretted it, and you show compassion after. It's okay. It's all part of this living in this material world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so
it shows you've got a beautiful big heart anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so anything else
Haribol.
that you wanted to share, or we shall move on to the next Narasimha prayers? Okay. So can I request Gauringi Mataji and if available to lead Narasimha prayers? Gauringi,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
are you available to do the Narasimha prayers, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
And to respond, Gayatri Mataji and Sandeep Prabhuji, are you both available to respond?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, Sandip Prabhu is also here, Prabhu.
Okay. Yes, Mataji, when you're ready, kindly start the Narasimha prayer.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Okay. Shall I start, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Praladaladaine.
Praladaladaine.
Hiranyakashipurvachahar.
Hiranyakashipurvakshah.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Ito Nasima Parato Nasima.
Ito Narasimho Parato Narasimho.
Ito Nasima Parato Nasima.
Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimho.
Yeto Yami Tato Nasima.
Yeto Yami Tato Narasimha.
Yeto Yami Tato Nasima.
Yeto Yami Tato Narasimha.
Bahir Nisima Hridaye Nisima.
Bahir Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho.
Bahir Nisima Hridaye Nisima.
Bahir Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho.
Narsingamadim Saranam Prapade.
Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade.
Narasingamadim Saranam Prapade.
Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade.
Tava kara kamalabare Nakam Adbhuta Singam Dalita Hiranyakasipu Tanavringa Kesavadhita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare
Tava kara kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Sringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanuvrinda Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare.
Tabakara kamalabare Nakham Adbhuta Singam Dalita Hiranyakasipu Tanuvringa Kesavadhita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare
Tava kara kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Slingam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanuvringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
जय जगदीश हरे।
केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे। जय जगदीश हरे। जय जगदीश हरे।
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव।
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव।
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज।
जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा शिल प्रभुपदा
जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा श्रील प्रभुपदा।
जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा शिल गुरुदेवा
जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा श्रील गुरुदेवा।
निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल
निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल।
निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल
निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल।
श्री श्री नृसिंहदेव भगवान की
जय
जय
भक्तराज प्रहलाद महाराज की
जय
जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की
जय
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय
निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे
हरि बोल।
हरे कृष्णा
हरे
थैंक यू प्रभु जी थैंक यू प्रभु जी एंड माता जी वेरी नाइस माता जी
माताजी।
Very beautiful Mataji and Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा। थैंक यू सो मच माताजी एंड हम प्रभु।
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, Gauri Mataji, and Gayatri Mataji, Sandeep Prabhuji. Very beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, so we are half past 9 o'clock now. Okay, we are all happy. We shall conclude the session tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow morning for Japa session at 5:30 a.m. And also Gauri Mataji. So I think how is your Prabhuji's health and
Yes, Prabhuji, he is in hospital. Then he is now getting better. In the meantime, he got a cough, very coughing. Then he got sore throat as well. Then he got also allergy.